my business started about 3.5 years ago in this big transition period of our life. So my husband is in the Marine Corps. And so we moved quite often, and I found us in a place of a new city where we had moved. We had a new baby, and I was now transitioned from a full-time corporate America working woman to a stay-at-home mom. I've always been interested in cooking well and fitness and health, but it was at this time of my son had just turned 1 where I felt this void. Despite like having a great family life and having a very strong faith, there was something that was like, there's something missing. You know, I felt like I had lost a part of me in the process of just the mundane life stuff, taking care of a baby. So I decided that after 5 years of really wanting to start a website, now is the time, you know. So I started Physical Kitchness as a food and fitness blog with the hope to just share what I love to do and to maybe make a little bit of money on the side and feel a little bit more fulfilled. And it really was a calling for me. I had a Bible study, and we were talking about using our gifts, using the gifts that the Lord has given us. And people were going around the table, and one woman was a prior teacher, and she said, I like to teach my children. And someone was really big into volunteer work, and it got to me, and I was like, I don't have any gifts. I just take care of my kids and try to stay sane. And it hit me very quickly that my love for health and wellness could be an avenue that would help other people. And that took a little bit of progression to really get to that point, but that's really what helped me start the site. So I really just hustled my booty off to create helpful content, recipes, and at-home workouts for moms on the website, and then eventually monetize the site and kind of opened up the potential for so much more as far as like really building it into a business and not just a little side blog. So in that process, I was just building the blog and the audience. We moved to another new city, had another baby, and shortly after that, my husband deployed for 13 months. So I had a 1 and 3-year-old living thousands of miles away from family in a brand new city, and just continuing to build and grow my business. And in that experience was the most difficult year of my life, the most transformational year of my life. And it was the most challenging, but the most grateful, like, growth experience I've ever had. And it's made me so passionate about helping other women to achieve greatness.
So what were some excuses that you kept giving yourself, saying, I'm not good enough, I don't have enough time? So what were some of those that kept rehearsing, playing back?
Yeah, I think it was fear. There was a lot of fear. Like, I don't know how to start. I don't know the technical aspects. And looking back now, I didn't realize this at the time, but I used to be the mastery of underestimating myself. Like, I don't think I can figure this out. I'm not smart enough to do the things. So when I had the opportunity to work with a blog coach, that was kind of my safety net. But I had wanted to start it 5 years prior, but I was just too scared, and I undervalued how much I'd be able to pick up in a short amount of time.
And this unfortunate thing is, many people, not just women, but men and women, have that same mentality, and then they've pretty much set themselves up for failure, because that's all they think, that I'm not good enough. What if, what if this happens? So fear plays a huge part in people's failures. And for you, you said, I'm not letting fear stop me from what I really want to do, my gift, my calling.
Yeah.
And so do you have any tips for people who might be in this similar situation where they've got a big issue ahead, but they just don't know how to attack it, or they're looking to take a leap of faith? Do you have any little tips for them to push on?
For me personally, regret is worse than fear, is worse than failure. So if I go through my life and I say, I wish I would have done that thing, it is going to eat away at me forever. And so that's when I think when you're stepping into a place of fear or uncertainty, I always try to think, well, what would happen if I didn't do this? You know, if I fail, I fail. At least I tried it. But if you never step into a place of shaky ground, you can't grow, you can't achieve great things. And I really feel like every challenge, regardless if it's a success or a failure, you learn so much. You know, the growth is unbelievable, and you just have to find those pieces and keep pushing forward.
Well, it's like that saying is you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Yeah.
So if you take, if you start taking shots, like eventually one of them is going to go in. Right. But it's that fear of the unknown. It's getting out of that comfort zone. That's difficult.
I think it matters more than a surface level, because I think we know we're supposed to eat well. We know we're supposed to work out, but it's soul stuff. Because I think what you do on the outside to take care of yourselves, especially moms who are so busy taking care of their little ones, which is maybe just the life stage I'm in, we don't prioritize ourselves as much. But everything we do when we are eating well and taking care of our bodies, we feel better. We feel mentally more clear. And I just think you're better able to handle all the curveballs in life when you are feeling your best and feeling strong and feeling just like in tune with your mindset. There are just so many unknowns in life. There's so many curveballs. And I think when you get lazy in taking care of yourself, taking care of your mind, and taking care of the thoughts that you're telling yourself, that's when you can spiral into a deep, dark pit.
So explain that a little more. What does it actually look like to take care of ourselves? Because I know a lot of people that they just don't take care of themselves. But the unfortunate thing is they might not know how to. I mean, YouTube is, with all the content that's on YouTube and Pinterest, you would think these people would be world-class chefs, be fitness models, they would be 19-figure multi-level marketing experts, but because all that information's free.
Right.
So what does it actually look like on a practical level? A busy mom or a busy husband, kids are crazy, trying to run a business. What are some things that you used in your life, like just practical steps to take care of Chrissa?
Yeah. Well, I think it depends on the person too, but for me, it's reducing the overwhelm, because we are bombarded with everything in social media and what you're supposed to do and take these tips, and you're supposed to eat your leafy greens, and it can be so crazy, and you get oftentimes feeling overwhelmed, and then overwhelm leads to just I'm shutting down. So it's just tiny steps. And so I really follow like a 5, 10, 15 approach every day. It's 5 minutes of self-care. And if I can get more in, that's great. But I'm busy. I have kids.
Yeah.
So 5 minutes of self-care, at least 10 minutes of activity, and then 15 minutes of food or meal prep or something, because you really just have to strategize. You have to have some sort of strategy in how you are outlining your day and living it. And if you don't have just even the tiniest framework, it's easy to just get overwhelmed with everything and therefore not take care of yourself.
So how does Physical Kitchness help others balance out their schedules, their lives? How is your business helping those who need that?
I think the differentiating factor is that I really value simplicity, and I call them like meal hacks and fitness hacks, because that's the biggest pain point of so many of the people who follow me is time. And so for me, it's all about like kind of simplifying, getting really, really basic, and you can do it in still really like fun, tasty ways. But if it's not simple and easy and just can be a natural part of your day, it won't stick. So.
Well, that's the thing. And we've had Chris and I and everybody else here at Strong by Design and Critical Bench, we have that conversation all the time. We're just like, people need simple, and even simple is not simple enough.
Yeah.
And, I have an exercise science background. I'm used to training world-class athletes, writing out 6-day programs. Like that doesn't work because it doesn't work for me. And I'm in this strength and conditioning field. It's like, we need simple, and there's so much research coming out. Like you don't need 19 meals a day. You can be in a fasted state. You could have these certain nutrients and still have the same effect as all this stuff, or have body weight workouts. and at home workouts. Like I tell my wife all the time, I'm like, you don't need to go to the gym to get in a workout. I mean, there's more mental, there's accountability and stuff like that. But I'm like, if you really, really, really want change, you can make change right this second.
I absolutely agree. And it's so mindset level, and people don't, I think, realize that. But, you can do keto, and you can do intermittent fasting, and you can do CrossFit, and you can do barre, and there's so much stuff you can do and you can try. Or you can just say, I'm going to eat what makes me feel great. I'm going to have a strategy and a roadmap if I get off the rails. I'm going to make it easier on myself and do something in my living room. And if I get more done, great. And I think when you just say enough with all the information,
fluff,
you can start out as like a really good baseline and add in then what you want, what makes you feel great and what makes you feel strong. But you just got to strip it down.